Welcome to the very exciting launch of Xfce Raptor V8.1 LTS, good through 2020, which runs Windows XP 7 and Windows 10 inside it completely virus-free. Two words to describe this version: greased lightning. Built on 100% raw Debian 8 stable source code from the ground up, it uses a very small amount of RAM. This is another Robolinux Series 8 intensely fast, streamlined, and beautiful operating system that boots up and shuts down in seconds. A colossal amount of time and effort equaling thousands of man hours went into building these totally new 32 and 64-bit operating systems. Even if you were an expert coder, it'd take you months of backbreaking work to create these two modern operating systems. Building Debian operating systems is not for the faint of heart. My name is John Martinson, and I'm the founder of Robolinux. You can call me Robo, everyone else does. Today, I'm going to be your pilot in the cockpit of this newly released, greased lightning fast, meticulously refined, and optimized rock-solid Robolinux Xfce Raptor 64-bit version, which is loaded with all your favorite programs, plus 12 incredibly powerful security and privacy apps to keep you really safe. No other Linux operating system offers these. Best of all, it runs your favorite Windows apps inside it natively too. What you're going to see in this test drive is more Robolinux shock and awe speed, ease of use, unparalleled productivity, and unprecedented configurability so you can customize it to your heart's content. This may be the fastest Xfce desktop version on the planet. I'm going to keep this test drive video as brief as possible, as it would take me many hours to show you everything. The best thing to do is download the live version for free on SourceForge and take it for a spin. You'll love it. It's time to show you around the Xfce Raptor main menu and the bottom taskbar. It's not only beautiful, but also incredibly intuitive and easy to operate. You've got your favorites and recently used right here at the top. And you can literally just jet around your desktop like an F-22 Raptor. Here's settings, just one click away. I like the one-click option the best. That's why I put it there, because I'm in the business of saving you time. Right-click on any app. Okay, let's go up here to Internet, and I'm going to go ahead and add Thunderbird, and you can add it to Favorites, Desktop, or Panel, and actually you can add it to any of 4 panels. So if I click Add to Panel right now, I've got 2 panels programmed, panel 1 and 2, but I could have up to 4. Now I'm going to go ahead and just add this to panel 1. Now what it does, puts it in the far right for you. You right click it and just move it to the position you want. And I'm going to put it right there next to Firefox. Now, why do we have all these panels? Watch this. If I want to load my Windows 10 or my Windows 7 or any app at all, I can program them into these panels and they can hide, or you can have them show up all the time. Now in the middle, you can just right click, you can open File Manager, open a terminal, open as many as you want. If they get in the way, roll them up, move them around. It's just very versatile. Now what I wanted to show you here, go ahead and get rid of this terminal, is when you right click you can go down to desktop settings, and here you've got your background, which is all of your wallpapers and so on. We've got quite a few programmed in here. You can add as many as you want, and so you can set your icons and what size you want them to be and so on and so forth. Xfce, just wonderful. The other thing I love is you can just scroll through your desktops anywhere on the screen. You can't do that in Cinnamon or in our Mate version. You can do it in our GNOME version, but this is just wonderful. Look at the bottom of the screen. I mean, I can just go jetting around. I'll show you that in more detail later. That's epic productivity, folks, because it saves you time. Windows 10 is already loaded in desktop number 6, as you can see. And Windows 7 is in desktop number 7. And of course, you can flick back and forth between those operating systems or any desktop. I told you I'd show you that. Now, here's something that you may not be aware of. Why bother surfing inside Windows when you can do this? Go to your right panel or left or favorites or wherever you want and just load Firefox or your Tor browser or your I2P Internet Invisible Project browser and just surf on top of Windows. It's like really running it in Windows. I mean, just go here and you're in Windows. Go there, you got it. I mean, it's just, I mean, that's the way to do it, folks. I used the Robolinux C drive to VM support package that we invented back in April 2014 to instantly install Windows 7 and my Windows 10 with all their programs and updates in just a few minutes. Then I used Stealth VM, which we also invented, to instantly convert the C drive clones to VirtualBox compatible VDI files so they work as VMs, and I can do this in seconds. This makes moving your Windows OS with all your apps and updates to any new PC or laptop a piece of cake. You can learn more about C drive to VM by simply going here and hover your mouse and just click it. It'll take you to the web page and you can learn all about it. In the first desktop, I'm going to load Thunderbird. You'll see that I have replaced Firefox on the bottom panel with Tor browser because I have Firefox over here on the right. Now, I'm going to load Tor browser in desktop number 2. That could have been Google Chrome running I2P, which is the invisible internet project, also Firefox running I2P. That's up to you. In desktop number 3, I'm going to load Amarok from my Multimedia. Now we also have Quad Labette, which is a smaller music player. You can put whichever one you want and uninstall the ones you don't want. That's up to you. So here is Amarok, and while I've got Amarok, I'm just going to go to Multimedia and load VLC, everybody's favorite video player. Now in desktop number 4, let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to go ahead and go up to graphics, and we're going to load our Shotwell photo manager, and that's another fine application built by one of the third-party developers. I have a few photos in there. Now in desktop number 5, I'm going to go up to Office, and I'm going to load LibreOffice Writer, and then I'm going to load from Office LibreOffice Calc. In desktop number 7, I've got Windows 7 running, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to load, watch this folks, Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. That was blistering fast. I'll tell you how we do that at the end of this video. Time to show you around the menu. Accessories, since I've already shown you favorites and recently used. And I'm just going to talk to some of the most notable ones. Here you have Lucky Backup, and this allows you to migrate quickly from one Linux OS to another in just a few minutes, but be sure that you only restore your data files or you're going to mess up your new Linux OS. I'm sure it instructs you to do that. We've got a couple of editors here. I love mEdit. Remembers all your text files that you've been working with. So you can just click it. You don't have to hunt around. Mousepad's a good one. Here's something really cool. This is something we developed. It's called the Stealth Vault Encrypt and Hide. Take any text file, embed it, encrypt it inside any JPEG file so it's safe, and you use a passphrase. And of course, if you want to decrypt it and extract it, you have that option as well. And you've got Terminator, run multiple terminals inside one terminal, Task Manager, and it's just, we've got Catfish Search, which is awesome, bulk rename, Disk Manager. There's your File Manager, Calculator. Here you can go in and add your picture to the greeting. That's where you log in. That's up to you. Drivers. We have over 150 custom Wi-Fi printer and video drivers. You're not going to need a video driver, even though we got them all. That's because the Nuvo driver handles everything, even in compositing. Older machines with graphic cards before 2008, forget it. Debian doesn't support them anymore. I don't think anybody does. But our Series 7 versions of Robolinux do support them. Now, let's say that you needed a custom built Wi-Fi driver, that's not a problem. We can make those available to you here. Just send an email to tech support, and then when the custom built driver is ready, simply click here to install it. It's that easy. Look at this. We've got custom built printer drivers, custom built system mods. That's like low-level stuff that people may want to do if they're in a business environment and they don't want to hire a programmer to do it, so they hire us to do it. Custom built video driver, you'll probably never need one of those unless you go out and buy some huge gaming rig that costs $2,000. The newer ones are not going to work. There won't be any drivers for them. So but anyway, we make this all available. Custom built Wi-Fi driver I told you about. We got tons of printer drivers, Brothers, we've got Canons, we've got, you plug in your HP and bang, it's just up and running. The printing is just, I mean, it's vastly improved in Linux over the last couple of years. And this just goes on and on. Now, what you have to do here when you've gone and looked at your information profiler, which is here from System, Hardware Information Profile, and you go to your PCI devices, find out what you've got, and when you figure out what it is, then you can go back to drivers. It's very easy to do. Go to your drivers, and you come here. Now you're going to have to expand the window out so you can see all the different model numbers. See this? And when you find your model number, you simply click on it, and there you go. You're installing your Wi-Fi driver. And I'm just going to set my menu nice and clean like this. Education, we only have one app installed right now, but you can install thousands of educational apps from the package manager or Synaptic, because Debian has over 45,000 free apps you can install in just a couple of clicks. I'm going to show you the software package manager GUI in a few minutes here. You'll also note that we don't have any games installed yet, but again, you can install thousands of them from the package manager, which I'm going to show you. And well, you could use Synaptic, which is my preference, but let's say you want a nice GUI, so you go down to the packages, and here, look at this. This is so lovely. I mean, it's laid out really well. If I went to games, I would just have, I mean, just a ridiculous list. And there's something really cool I'm going to tell you about. Check this out. Now you can install Steam in all 8 series versions of Robolinux. Graphics, and of course we've got the PDF document viewer. We've got GIMP. I find that way easier. Pretty much anybody can use that instead of Photoshop. It's really powerful, folks. You ought to look at it. And then you've got your LibreOffice Draw shot, well, I showed you earlier. If you've got a scanner, you've got Xfce, and it works very well. Let's take a look at our one-click installer apps under installers from the main menu. 90% of these apps cannot be found in the software package manager I showed you earlier or in Synaptic, so we created custom installers just for you. That's because we listen to our users. Here we have the latest and greatest Firefox 32 or 64-bit, and it has to be stable, otherwise we don't put them on our servers. We do bear the brunt of the download bandwidth costs. We do that just for you. You've got all your privacy and security apps in here, including Kdenlive Video Editor, really powerful one. Plex Media Server, quite popular, very difficult to install. That's why we created this for you. Popcorn Time Installer, and that's going to allow you to watch thousands of free movies and shows instantly. No kidding, and please follow the laws in your country. You can watch Netflix now in Google Chrome. No need for Silverlight anymore. Thank you, Netflix and Google. And of course, we have other apps in here. I'm just going to go over them real quickly. Shutter Installer, that is a really powerful but very easy to use screen capture program. Actually integrates to your browser, very cool. Thunderbird Enigmail Installer, that's where you put PGP encryption into Thunderbird very quickly to our browser. That's the installer for Tor. I've already got mine installed. Tor Chat Installer, wow, I love that app. Totally encrypted chat, I mean, it's just awesome. You get Downloader, that's going to let you download anything off the net and resume and pause and so on and so forth if you've got a flaky internet connection. Internet. Here you have at the very top below contact Robolinux. You've got Deluge. We think that's the best BitTorrent client, but you can install any one you want. There's at least 5 or 10 of them. Here, of course, Firefox. Here you can click and get a free SpiderOak Cloud account. And you've got Google Chrome. Not an easy one to install in Debian. So we did that for you. Pigeon, it's also encrypted. Awesome. Runs I mean, just can't even imagine how many different chat clients, even Facebook. I mean, if that's what you're into. So we've got private internet access. That's something you ought to go for, because for just literally just not even a penny a day or something, probably way less than that, a third of a penny a day, you can connect everything. TV, I mean, heck, if your fridge works on the internet, fine, hook it up. Phones, tablets, laptops, desktops, one account, you're covered. It's really a great idea because you become, one person in 20, 30, 40, 50,000 that are sharing one IP address. No log files at PIA. Sorry NSA, but you're just SOL. You're not going to get any information out of PIA. Robolinux news and tips. This is somewhere you can find out what version you have, and you can also click here to see what's going on, and when new versions are available. Skype, another very hard one to install in a 64-bit version of Debian, so we did that for you. And of course Thunderbird in the Tor browser. Multimedia. Okay, and of course, again, you can just add as many as you want, or uninstall the ones you don't like. What you end up with is totally up to you. We think Amarok is a really good one. We added that because Xfce doesn't come with a SSH server connection in the file manager, so we had to install Gigolo, which you'll see is in system. And while we were at it and using all the KDE binaries, we decided Amarok would be a good music player for you. Audacity's great. You've got just tons of stuff in here. ISO Master if you want to build your own ISOs. K3B, another one from the KDE collection, we think is just awesome. Kazam, extremely powerful, amazing. I'm using it right now. Another media player other than VLC here, which is really the standard, Sound Juicer. You got Quad Labette is a very lightweight music player and manages your collection. Volti if you want to change your volume icon on the right bottom there or wherever you want to put it. And another burner other than the K3B, you've got Xburn. So just chock full of apps here under Internet. Feel free to add more if you like. And Office from the main menu. And of course what you'd expect, all the LibreOffice apps right here in one place for you. In addition, some HP utilities for fax. One thing, and I think I mentioned it earlier, but printing has just gotten so much better in Linux. Especially with HP. I mean, you just plug it in and that's it. You don't do anything. Here you got your document viewer, of course, and a dictionary, which I think is very handy. Stealth VM. Here you can install and run Windows XP or 7 or even Windows 10 in just one click. Instantly creates a Windows VM. This saves you time, folks. And believe me, it does way more than that, regardless of what the pundits say. You'll see in a second. It makes Windows 7 or XP totally or 10 virus proof. Check it out and you'll see it works. If you're running Windows and Linux, you need Stealth VM. We invented this. It runs on all 500 Linux operating systems, every flavor of Ubuntu, every edition of Linux Mint, all the RPM distros. If you like distro hopping, this is really great. It's no problem. This technology is simply awesome, especially the Stealth Data Sync. You can't do that in VirtualBox or VMware. I mean, these are options that are just not available to the average user. I mean, if you're a programmer, great, spend a couple months and you can create all that stuff yourself. But if you're, like a normal human being, and this is really for you. So you've got your one-click backup and restores, eliminates fiddling around in VirtualBox. When you're, I mean, your Windows registry blows up, and you just click a button and bang, you got your brand new pristine original copy of Windows running in seconds. You can read all about it on our website, and you should check out our other invention, C drive to VM, which I pointed out earlier to you. That's going to save you over 8 hours of work installing Windows XP or 7 or 10. It installs, it clones and therefore installs all your updates in your software. It's perfect for Windows OEM machines with no installation disks. What I love about it is when I reinstall a new version of Linux, which I do frequently, I just run it and then put the Windows C drive image file, which is incompatible with VirtualBox, into the new Linux distro downloads folder, and in one click, Stealth VM converts that incompatible file into a compatible VDI file, and I have Windows up and running in seconds, even if I change my username in Linux. People, this is Windows on the go. It's a serious time saver. For the technically challenged, this will save you from pulling out your hair and from cursing at your PC or laptop. You heard that right. You can move your copy of Windows to any machine you want to in seconds flat. Thousands of users have downloaded it and love it. We released it in April 2014. And System, right at the very bottom of the menu here. Now, most notably, at the top, Auto Upgrade Robolinux version. That's going to automatically upgrade you to your new version of Robolinux. And if you are a Robolinux open source software member, then you're going to be able to download all the new versions. So it's really neat to have this option here. You got create root user account. Now you're going to need this if you're going to use the root terminal, because in Xfce they have some pretty tight security, and you can't sudo into the root terminal. It is advisable to create a root user account only if you really need it. Then of course we have Dolphin, which is just amazing. There's a collection of KDE apps in our Xfce version that really enhance Xfce where it kind of was missing some apps. The Dolphin File Manager allows you to run two instances of the file manager at the same time, so dragging and moving files around is awesome. Firewall configuration in here, GDebi of course. Giglo, this is a package that runs in KDE but also runs in Xfce, allows you to connect to servers, very important for sysadmins and people who want to manage their servers. Gparted, another one that's it's a must. The hardware information profiler I showed you earlier allows you to find out exactly what's in your machine and what model numbers you have for your Wi-Fi card, or your video cards, or just anything in your machine. HTOP, a good one. See what's going on. See how much memory you're using, what processes are running. K3B is a great burner program. Talked about it earlier. It's also available here, and of course in accessories. And there are a few duplicates in here. We'll probably weed those out on the next versions. Now here you've got the root user for Lucky Backup, and that of course would allow you to back up system files if you needed to. You got Oracle already installed, Oracle VM VirtualBox, and packages. I showed you that earlier. That's a really neat GUI for installing software. Package Updater, we had to install that because there was no update notifier in the Debian 8 series. Printer settings, RC-Comp, that helps you remove resident applications, or daemons is what we call them in Linux, that are running that you don't want to have running. For me, the example is I don't like Avahi, so I just turn it off by loading RC-Comp right here. Now here's a good one, repair Debian update error. Now unfortunately in the 64-bit versions you're going to get a DVD-ROM error if you run an update. Now this will repair it instantly, and for those that failed to answer yes to the mirrors question in the installation, here you can rebuild your mirrors instantly. And of course, if you feel like reporting a bug, if you find one in Debian, you can do that here. Rootkit check, that's a really neat app. Gives you peace of mind, just making sure that no one has actually hacked into your machine. We haven't had anybody hack into our Linux operating systems, but it's always nice to see what's going on. And there's that root terminal I told you about, sensor viewer, that tells you all kinds of information about how hot your memory is, and temperatures of your CPU, and so on and so forth. Synaptic right here, that's really important. Great package manager. System monitor, task manager, the terminator I told you about, run multiple instances of Xterm inside one terminal, and the Thunar file manager, a little bit of duplication here because it's available in accessories. And here you can see my Windows 10, and we have a nice FAQ that shows you how to actually put shortcuts for your Windows VMs into your Robolinux main menu, and then you can right click them and put them wherever you want on any panel on the desktop or what have you. And here I'm going to show you where you can lock your screen if you go out to lunch and you want to lock your session. And then of course you just enter your password to get back in. You've got your settings button here as well at the top. Change users right here, log out right there. We also have the log out conveniently next to the main menu in the bottom left, which is next to settings over here. And of course in here you just go through and customize anything. It's got pretty much everything. It's awesome. That was incredibly fast, wasn't it? Maybe you're wondering how we made Robolinux Xfce Raptor so fast. I told you earlier I would let you know. Well, that's because it was built with raw Debian source code with no bloat. This is Robolinux's 13th and 14th operating system designed so that Windows or any VMs can run as fast as possible. People, this is an enormous undertaking and amount of work. On May 1st, 2015, Robolinux created the Robolinux Open Source Software Foundation, ROSSF, in order to significantly improve Linux desktop software applications written by Linux third-party developers who have no funding, but really want to polish their apps just for you. We require all users who download any Robolinux operating system to join as a member for a minimum tiny $2 donation. Every Linux user can afford to join the ROSSF, especially because it benefits them. Unfortunately, most users have been complacent about this awesome opportunity that directly benefits them by improving the software apps they use in Linux for free. So, I guess they'll just keep on downloading Windows apps and paying a bunch of money and to Microsoft and those developers. But, you've got an opportunity here. So I urge you once again to join the ROSSF. It is, again, strictly only for your benefit. It's not for Robolinux's benefit. It's for you. You can read all about the Robolinux Open Source Software Foundation on our About webpage. I'm showing you right here. And as you can see, we provide monthly audits so you can be sure that this is a 100% legitimate foundation. When we get one of the apps funded, we post it on our news, tips, and upgrades webpage so that you can take advantage of it. Thank you for your time watching this Robolinux video. I hope you have a great day, and may God bless you and your family.